we've got to do one thing, one thing we normally do in the private chat, say, welcome, Daniel. There you go. Welcome, Daniel Parker. Yes. And in our normal chat is family-friendly chat. Friendly chat. Ask Daniel a question. Yeah, we keep the drama all about your comic book. That's what we're about.
Yeah.
So right then, we are live. Azrael's just adjusting his yak cardigan, is it? I think it's made out of something exotic. Right then, welcome to Daniel Parker. We have got a presentation for him.
Yes.
But before we do, folks, we've got to do a bit of this. Oh yes, we love it when we do that. Let's put the presentation back on the stage. I tell you what, this meeting, Daniel Parker, has been a long time coming. You have been an absolutely consistent member. We don't think I'm member. We don't call you followers. We call them creative leaders.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't follow us. You walk alongside us. We often use the term "we" on the show. It's never an I. It's never me. It's about what we're doing together, shoulder to move the boulder in the indie comics community, or trying to get to our plot of land at the wild frontier of indie comics. How about that, Daniel?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I like it. It's 100%, isn't it? We'll tell you what, sorry, Daniel, we've got Bermoncho. The chat's right down, interrupting us there with a hello. We like the chat.
Yeah.
We've done 2 shows without the guest being present for various reasons. Somebody's got to take the convention. It's $500 to £1,000. So, obviously that takes priority. John Dexter, it was just a time zoning thing. So if anyone wants to see his stream for Alpha Dogs, we do have an early stream where we interviewed him. He was very apologetic, but he got a back out of it because we backed his Dime Store Detective. So we win, he wins. And obviously he gave us a follow to our channel. So that's quite a prestigious follow coming from John Dexter of Alpha Dogs and Dime Store Detectives, 2 books we've been having a look at over the last 2 years. So, sometimes things happen for a reason, Daniel, yeah? Marchant says, good evening, Az and Daniel. Hope you both had great days. Not so bad. Azrael's been very busy in private life. We don't talk about private life stuff, but let's just say the Nexus is buffeting us with tidal forces. And Daniel, how was your day today, Daniel?
Not too bad, yeah. Pretty quiet day. I do need to give a little warning. My house is being repainted, so if you hear a bunch of background noise outside, that's what's going on.
Okay. Well, if you hear any birds singing outside, which, funny enough, we were doing something quite melodramatic or quite heartfelt, and then Crenshaw, we call him Battle General Crenshaw, he does his lovely Richard Burton style voiceovers for his ABC overviews of indie comics. The best 1-minute reviews you'll get out there. He's got his own distinct style. They could get Academy Awards for 1 minute's performance. Absolutely, Crenshaw. And all of a sudden, when we were saying something quite poignant, outside the kind of the bird song started chiming in, because we're in an attic studio and we had the skylight open, and then the bird song started drifting out Disney style. You can make it up. It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
So yes, welcome Bermonchant early in the chat. We like that. Thank you for supporting the show and a friend of the show. We like that. Welcome, brother. Right then. So today we're going to kind of get right into it. We've done our trailer. We're going to get straight into it. Right then, the 5 pillars of storytelling live. Azrael chats to Daniel Parker, art, comics, movies, games, and toys. Each one is an eye of a needle. You thread it, and what you have, storytelling. So it's an umbrella of niches, right? So the niche, or the broad niche umbrella, is storytelling. Yeah. Art goes to comics. Comics can be made into movies. Movies can be made into games, which is now a bigger revenue source, bigger than movies itself. Yeah. Apple computer, pull your finger out and start making some games. Have your own gaming studio. Just teasing Apple. Right? And obviously toys can be a side product of games and movies. It's merch, isn't it? Right. So toys are more affordable to make now for indie comic creators than they ever have been. Some indie comic campaigns actually do statues, marquettes, and perhaps toys and so forth. Mm-hmm. So those are the 5 pillars of storytelling. It's Thursday, we hope, 5th of June. We've kind of got the day right, but did we get the date right the week? We've got the day wrong for the last stream. We got Arvid's name wrong. We called him Arvin. First time we got somebody's name wrong on the show. I mean, we're still learning, put it that way, you know?
Yeah.
We're featuring Guardian Angel tonight, and it's 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, we hope. London, UK time. Should put a Uni Jack in that. So, right then, what's next? Host introduction. Hello there. Welcome to the 5 Pillars of Storytelling Live, where we talk art, comics, movies, games, and toys. I'm your host, Azrael, and my secret identity is Carl Prometheus. Storyteller, artist, promoter of indie creators, indie comics, and indie comics community. Our style is universal. We can be watched by creative families, creative adults, and the creative younglings. Our motto is to listen, learn, and share. So we mind our P's and Q's in the chat and with our special honoured guests. So yes, our motto is to listen, learn, and share. Back a couple of decades ago, there was nothing like this. There was just occasionally a magazine called Wizard with How to Draw Ladies by Adam Hughes. Nowadays, you've got science fiction technology, where Star Trek technology, where you can go and watch Steve Rude, master fine artist and master comic artist, actually draw and paint on his YouTube channel. And that's also promoting his work. It cross-fertilizes into his own Kickstarter campaigns, and his website. And if you haven't got a website and a newsletter, in addition to the 5 billionaire-owned platforms that can incinerate Azrael off Instagram for being too enthusiastic, what? Who's too enthusiastic? Get out of it. I've learned to circumvent X with soft pins just underneath the hard pins, even though it's a technical thing, can only have one hard pin. So we call it the soft pin, which we use for indie comic late night love. A bit like smooth radio, but for indie comics. Aspiring quotas, comics are an international language. They can cross boundaries and generations. Comics are a bridge between all cultures. By that famous fellow, Osamu Tezuka. Now, we talk about creative leaders, and Daniel Parker is definitely one of them as a writer. And he consistently wears the t-shirt and comes to 5 pillars of storytelling without fail, like a cosmic atomic clock. Sunday indie comic promo, Wednesday indie comic promo, Friday indie comic promo. In fact, with our promotion, we set our clock to Daniel's cosmic clock itself. So we know if he isn't on time, we're not going to be on time. It's almost like he's there to promote. It's like at the front of the queue, you know? He's the promotional queue. So thank you, Daniel, for being a supporter of our promos and that.
Absolutely, and thank you for doing those promos. You know, I mean, that's a great help to all of us.
Well, there's not enough of it. You know, in that one power of one, we call it, up to that 200 to 1,000 kind of market range, there's a lot of inertia. And you start to pick up a bit of momentum the closer you get to 1,000 and above 1,000, But you know that 1 to 1,000 area is very sticky, and it's almost like you're doing the Superman thing of resisting the boulder above your head, or doing that Sisyphus task of up the mountain, down the mountain. Each one seems to be bigger, like some kind of oscillating curve upwards. And the best way to circumvent that is turn up. What the Woody Allen would say: dancing is 98%, or life is 98% turning up and having a go. And that's the best teacher, yes. So there is that, and it's also consistently turning up, like Daniel Parker does. Now, example of a creative leader. Obviously, Daniel Parker will get really into it. We hope he's got the lawyer from The Simpsons and a big, massive window to jump through, because by the time we're finished with him, he's going to need a big window, man. We're holding prepared. Bring that lawyer. Could break the window for you. Is it what, 2 hours already? So anyway, creative leaders are people like Bianca Yamakoshi, who we featured in our last show. Why do we feature creative leaders? We thought, hang on a minute, we can actually cross-pollinate what we do with X on YouTube. We really thought we've got creative people turning up in the chat. Why don't we actually support them as well with a kind of a relatively focused introduction to them, which can feed into the main guest? So creative leaders, what are they? They're chat champions. So we actually, if we interact with the chat, that makes the show a bit more alive and interactive and fun. Yeah. The supporters of the show, why? Because they're on X. They actually interact with our indie comic promos on X. So you get this cross mingling and fertilization going. And you'll see the relevance of this, Daniel, in a moment, because it's very much what you do. Yeah, with your Artist Bogdan. Yeah. So we'd like to graciously thank Bianca for her tireless efforts to support and promote the show on X and YouTube. Gratitude is something we try to express to our storytelling community, especially on X. Yeah, we always mind out. Some people think it's grown up. We don't have to do please and thank anymore. We do. Yeah, and we have a special folder for gratitude for us and other people. It's very attractive. Effort is attractive, and what we do with gratitude is, when it comes to backing people, we look at basically a range of things from passion, courage, and conviction. Yeah, so let's move on. Bianca Makoshi, here's her profile as a work for our artist. She's got her, Bianca's got her red and blue unusual compositional style, which is very emotive and very expressive with nice, cursive, elegant style. And we featured that in the last show, so we did. And obviously John Dexter could make it, so we had 3 hours to play with. So the chat and us, we all promoted John Dexter together. And he's always apologetic. We said, don't worry about it. You got our show going, because we've been giving it all that, as guys do, about we're gonna do this. And then he said, can we be a guest on your show? We said, okay. Then we had to scramble the jets to say, well, we haven't done one yet. So we kind of booked Star Million Star Million of Orium Saga, yes?
Oh, yes.
Great indie comic champion promoter. He is mega Olympic with his promo. He's another guy out there. Very grateful to him. He's actually started his frontier work of promotion at the same time as us, but 2 years ago-ish, yeah? And so basically, John Dexter was booked in for the 3rd show, and then a first show kind of fell over because of a technical problem with StreamYard, so we had to be apologetic and kind of redo it for the following week in the midweek special for Star Mini. So he should have been our first guest, but we did Dan of Godfo Comics. So basically he became our first guest with his AI Godfo universe, AI kind of technology darkness. And we backed him. 4 books coming through the zip file, almost choked the internet. There must be about 400, 500 pages in what we call the God tier. And so, hey man, gotta see it, man. It's just, we thought this is never going to download. No way. So anyway, Bianca has a we call her Dark Blade because of her woodcut style. Gail Simone kind of mentioned that woodcut effect, but we sure we mentioned it, the woodcut effect, way before that. But anyway, Mike Mignola is not really doing Hellboy art anymore. He's actually writing for different people to do art from what we last saw. What do you think, Daniel? Has he kind of gone that way?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if Bianca Makoshi was illustrating Hellboy, we'd buy it. Hello there. Speaking of the devil, she's not really a devil. She's actually more like a dark angel. It is Bianca Yamakoshi herself, the Dark Blade. Hello there, Bianca Yamakoshi. We're just talking about you, and we've got. Oh, you said that you featured me last time, Azrael. You're not featuring us again, are you? Well, for a special reason, we are. So we're kind of refreshing, going over what we talked about regarding your art style, with the woodcut thing and the Dark Blade thing and the Alex Toft noir thing. Bianca's just finished a Western horror style genre, so it's quite flexible in terms of genre, and we've got to add to that, and very intense, lots of background research, lots of lines, but in that kind of high contrast film noir kind of Alex Toft style. Yeah, so here we go. You're most welcome, Bianca Yamakoshi. We haven't got any emojis to actually go right back at you there, but what we're going to say is welcome. We're going to try touch typing, Daniel. And I'm trying to host. Welcome to Bear Marchand. Be on manners and type it in, and also welcome. Try and type. Use your capitals, sir. All right, welcome. Capitals. Come on. What kind of touch type style? Welcome. You can't get a lady's name wrong. Yamakoshi. There we go. A few exclamation marks. Right, there we go. And so there you go. Bear Marchand, welcome the lady to the house. I will tell you what we can say. We can say the emoticons, can't we? Star, guiding star, and a bit of. We'd like to give a bit of love out to our featured artists, and we're going to give plenty of love to Daniel tonight. There we go. Right, yeah. And so yes, this woodcut Dark Blade style, which is very much from the Church of Alex Tothian. Recent work for hire project was this this kind of Western horror with a bit of a twist. You know, the wife needs to go out and work, ends up at this kind of place, and the person she's working for, well, we can't spoil it, but like you say, you know, when you go and work somewhere and the job offer sounds too good to be true, just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. You're welcome. We're glad to feature your work again, Bianchi Yamakoshi. It is an utter delight. Emoji, emoji, emoji. Yes, we love doing stuff like that. And, well, oh yes, and welcome to Burn Marchant. We give him the brother shoulder right there. Yeah, why not? And there we go. So then, yes, lots of love. We like doing that. Welcome, Bianchi Yamakoshi. Of course, we can whisper that. Right then, so here what we've got next to that is then when you've got a solid blacks and Alex Toth style work, rather than that icing sugar birthday cake style colouring style that I often get from digital colouring, yeah, which is an art form in itself, and almost like gilding the lily to a degree, some might say. We're still a fan of those old-fashioned full block of colour, whether it's pulp or old-fashioned DC or marble. We call them Team Blue and Team Red comics, because we don't want to give corporations free advertising. They don't do that for us. Yes. Azrael, we don't do politics, sex, or religion on the show. We mind a PQs and manners, and we don't swear. Absolutely, all those things. So we have to be very subtle about the comments we make. We use imagination as creators. So here you've got this lovely, we call it pulp heat colouring style. You know, you can do a lot with flat planes of colour, which suits the flat blacks, you know. That's not flat because you've got depth to it. Actually leads you in because of foreground, middle ground, background elements. So it's got a lot of depth to it. That actually is quite clever to do when you're working with solid pools of darkness, you know. Oh yes, we could just do this. But Azrael, you're not going to just repeat the same thing, are you? No, we're kind of going over it with a view to saying this. There's always method in Azrael's 3 hive minds of madness. Bianchi Yamakoshi, open commission at Bianchi Yamakoshi. Hi folks, I'm showing today's pencils for a Daredevil sequence. So this is how you can promote yourself as an artist, a writer, etc. Especially if you're work for hire. I'm showing today's pencils for a Daredevil. We used to read lots of Daredevil, love it. Don't mind Frank Miller, but we love the Dantean bally darkness of Gene Colan. Gil Kane, where we live and breathe, but yeah, Gene Colan, Dantean ballet of melodramatic darkness. Just as well, behave yourself, get on with it. So yes, pencils for a Daredevil sequential art, as I'm looking to join new comic ventures, new portfolio work for hire stuff, art, and we'll be taking illustration requests as well. You can check my portfolio and contact info in comments. DMs are also open for queries and proposals. Thanks. We've put beautiful noir pencils, yeah. So we coined Bianca's artwork Gothic Noir, quite like that, and we've called it that ever since. Passion in, we even use bold for that word, passion in crimson pencils and Gothic Noir. We also said for this particular occasion with the Daredevil work, Crimson Noir. It's a bit of red and black there, red. Yeah. So Crimson Noir, that's why we actually wear a hat. We being a shy person trying to do a show, quite confident, but you have to learn to project confidence over the years. But if you're naturally always a shy person, you might blush or have crimson ears. So that's why we're wearing a hat. At least one of the reasons I wear the hat. So passion in crimson pencils and Gothic Noirs. Crimson Noir. Lean today's art portfolio showcase. We actually did an art, and Bogdan can contribute to if he wants to, Daniel. Yeah, we do a new edition. In addition to the 3 promos we do a week, the 4th promo is an art indie comic promo day. Yeah, specifically for artists and an art portfolio. So it's Art Thursday, where we can feature broader art, but also Art Portfolio Day for those people who do the indie comic art process, from everything from writing, such as yourself, Bogdan for his digital art. Not that people know about it. It hasn't quite got the full speed of the indie comic promos, but one day, if we keep chipping away at it on Thursdays, if we're consistent, people begin to trust us, yeah? That we're the real deal and serious about it, yeah? So basically, if the creators aren't in the X feed for some reason, that's usually down to Elon Musk and his X feed. Sometimes stuff will just get dropped in there, and all the people we spent the last 2 and 3 years cultivating friendships and relationships with, and some people like Bianchi Yamakoshi have been with us since the very beginning. So we're talking about 2.5 years. So the longer we're knowing, the deeper the cut. Yeah. So it was. I mean, one guy, is it Thirsty? Somebody, I can't remember his second is of the Bitterest handle. It's Thirsty something. Thirsty. What's his name? Thirsty's Whiskey. Anyway, he's into comics and merch and stuff like that. And he said, you were our first follower, Azrael. And it's those kind of relationships. Yes, we want to grow the indie comic community and new people, but we don't next feed getting in the way of people like Bianchi Yamakoshi, Thirsties, Brother Dio of the Tomb of Reckoning, Star Million of the Orium Saga. Yeah. So basically, right, leading today. So we featured her because we featured her in Late Night Indie Comic Love, which is again a late night thing. If we do the Late Night Indie Comic Love, which you've probably seen, Daniel, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you go from 11 o'clock to 11 o'clock the following day. That's 12 hours of free promotion for you. Yeah, with 2,750 followers. Yeah. And then we usually don't do anything to 4 o'clock because the American audience. Our keystone is actually the American audience because that's the biggest Twitter audience. It's the bigger X audience. So we actually favor our cousins in America in terms of time zone weighting. Yeah. Yeah. And we run this show in the same way. Yeah. We try and work around you Americans. Yeah. In a nice way. Yeah. And because it's a gravitational nexus, isn't it, of everything that's happening on social media? You have to work with it. Yeah. If it was just the British market, it'd be crickets chirping and the birds singing bluebird songs outside. So for example, last night we featured Bianchi Yamakoshi and other artists in the Late Night Indie Comic Love. Yeah, and you get 16 hours, is it more, maybe 18 hours worth of free promotion. Yeah, so we call that a soft pin. We've got the hard pins, but to circumvent the technical limit of X, we put a soft pin underneath that, and then that way it doesn't shift. We don't post anything else. Once we post that last man standing kind of promotion, that stays till the morning, in the afternoon. Right then, so yes, we say today it was Art Thursday, Portfolio Day. So again, we thought Bianca's leading the charge, friend of the show, 2.5 years. You've got people respect. If they're promoting you, we give old established creators, and even you, if you notice, we feature you a lot. Why? Because you turn up a lot. So it's energy. You give us the energy. We hold up the cosmic mirror to you. Bianca's been with us 2.5 years. You know what I mean? She values us in terms of our promotional efforts throughout her indie comic art career for the last 2 or so years. Then she's recognized our value. We recognize her support to the channel. Yeah. Where's this going, Azrael? You're about to see in a minute. So for today, Art Portfolio, we thought she led last night. She can lead the front line. Creative leaders, we call you guys. Yeah. She can lead the line, perhaps with her Art Portfolio showcase. Now, if she hasn't got time to put it in because she's a busy working artist for 10 hours plus, yeah, we'll go and get it. For people who've known a long time, we'll go and get it. There's no questions asked. It's our undying support, a devoted support, we would say. Just saying, devoted. Well, we do feel very passionate about our not followers. You're human beings, and there's 8 billion unique beings on the planet. We don't call it diverse. We call it unique, beautiful souls. Yeah. So that's the way we see it. Daniel is different to somebody else, but you turn up. We like that about you. So lead today's Art Portfolio Showcase on Art Thursday is creative leadership from Bianchi Yamakoshi, a battle-proven work for hire artist. Where's this going, Azrael? Well, this is our way of saying thank you. We go around the road a little bit, but you have to give people time because they're putting in the time to support the channel. Yeah. So Crimson Noir, this is Daredevil. We love Daredevil. We love Crimson Noir, and big love to Bianchi Yamakoshi, the Dark Blade. Got to say it, It's very passionate Crimson Red, a bit like our ears right now. Just giving out praise. We never used to receiving praise too well growing up. We've had to learn to accept it as gratitude, and give it back, So actually, more about other people first, and if we get any praise, we'll put it in the gratitude folder. So to remind us that we're doing okay, because some people might just give them and think, "I'm not getting any feedback," So, but it's a way of actually motivating both of you. So, right then, this is why we're doing this. Home. If Azrael feels no problem, Bianchi Yamakoshi, we'll see you later. Just dropping in to say hi, says Bianca. I was dropping to say hi, but since I've just found out about the streaming, oh yes, we should have posted it sooner. Beg your pardon. There we go. Beg your pardon. Tell you what, we'll have to a bit of feedback from Dave Brinks of Perfect 10.
Oh yeah.
Get the title card up earlier so people know. Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yes, just found out the streaming. It was a surprise. You see, Bianchi Yamakoshi, Azrael can do surprises too, but it's just this week we've got 4 guests lined up. So right then, here the 5 pillars of storytelling is my new home, where indie creators all over the globe gather on a weekly basis. A new place to be part of, where kindness and fairness reign. So, Calprometheus at Calprometheus on X, thanks for creating this new shelter for all of us. We like that. Heart, hug, and hands together. Appreciate that, Bianca. That anybody thinks of this as home. X and on YouTube, our sister site. Right then, and we like that she included us in an X post, Daniel. Right, let's moving on. Yeah, we like that. Yeah, it's cross pollination. You know about promotion, yeah? It's cross pollination, yeah. Right, here we go. Let's get into it now. So that was an intro into how you can work together and support people in the chat and support the guests actually on the show. So guest introduction tonight is Daniel Parker. That's the prose. We do a bit of nice warm prose that should make guests feel comfortable on the show. And what else? Well, really, they might be very modest. They won't say it, so we'll say it for them. How about that, yeah? And most indie comic artists and writers are actually quite modest. So let us do the praise bit. Daniel Parker at Daniel Parker on X, writer of the comic book titles Guardian Angel Part 1 and Part 2. Bogdan's digital art is a digital traditional artist working on Guardian Angel. DMs open on X. At the time of writing, Guardian Angel Part 2, 3,175 GB, that's British pounds to you guys out there in America, cousin land, by 49 backers. That's good going, Daniel Parker, yeah? Welcome to the show, Daniel Parker.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about Guardian Angel here.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's test out his English, his mother tongue. Let's go for a bit of the... Right, I know what I can do. I can put a smile in the chat. There we go. Right, yes, Guardian Angel. That's number one, because remember it, over a 2-year journey on X. I'm promoting things. And it's an indie comic, which has an issue number 2, which is now in demand on Indiegogo.
Correct, yes.
When we look at that, tell us, Daniel Parker, tell us about those 2 covers. We're shutting up now. It's your turn to speak. We're going to listen.
Yeah.
The whole point of the show is that we actually listen. So go on.
Yeah. So so these 2 covers feature the titular Guardian Angel, Henry Hatcher, who's Guardian, and Jessica Sawyer, who's Angel. They are, they've got a really big fight in these 2 books. They got 4 powerful elementals they're fighting against, and it's. Those 4 elementals cause a lot of destruction, and you're seeing some of that destruction in these two covers here. I will say Guardian Angel 2 is probably slightly darker than Guardian Angel 1. 1 features our heroes more in the spotlight with Henry and Jessica. 2 has the villains more so in the spotlight. So yeah, it's a lot of chaos and a lot of fighting, in a cyberpunk aesthetic city. So yeah,
so we did notice that this one seemed darker from the promotional art compared to the last one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So look at those covers, folks. They are scorching. You've almost got ice and fire and ice. Yeah, we've got that kind of color narrative. One of the things we talked about with Roberto Rodriguez, if we mention somebody's name, we're going to mention the book as well. Why? Because we can't stop ourselves promoting. We do that until our eyes pop out our head and roll along the floor, and we have to crawl after them. Yeah. Roberto Rodriguez has just done Faint and completed fulfillment on that with what we call a noir scorched cover. It's got this lovely black and white depth to it. He actually color keys it himself. He colors it and does color keying. So he does the final color pass like a glaze on an old Joseph William Mallard Turner oil painting, 12 footer, like egg yolk glazed, but he does it with like Hollywood do it, but they cover everything in teal and mustard. Do you know why everything's teal and mustard on in adverts at the minute?
They must have done some study somewhere, some focus group study, and said, people like those colors better. I guess, I don't know, some kind of, I guess it's like a homey kind of homely sort of feeling, or comforting. I don't know.
But when you look at the actual Superman movie, the trailer, you've got people having mustard jeans and stuff like that, thinking, do you really have mustard genes? And somebody's hair is like it almost appears to be teal, and you're thinking, what's going on? Does Jimmy Olsen have teal coloured hair? No, we're exaggerating, but it looks weird when you actually look at it. Maybe it's a way of focusing on the Superman character as full colour, and the rest is almost like tritone, a duotone colour. I don't know. Maybe a focus. Yeah. A focus group. You're probably on the money with that, Daniel Parker.
Yeah.
It always produces the best results, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Don't be like that. But the thing which I mentioned here, look how your colour scheme has colour narrative. That's the thing that Roberto and ourselves were talking about. He also has a book called White Owl, which is like a kind of a cross between Moon Knight and Batman, which is very pensively, emotionally based. And White Owl #3 with a Joker style cover with a magenta background. The kind of Brian Bolland kind of fingers going through Killing Joke style hairstyle of a Joker. Is that
right?
Kind of
yeah.
Great. So anyway, moving swiftly on. Big 5 questions. Prepare yourself, Daniel Parker. We're going in. Right then. Who is Daniel Parker? Storytelling influences, comic journey, movies and music. Are you going to be, do you have, like, for example, Queen music playing while you do your business plan, while you're writing, where you think, when I get out and pro my book, where, I don't know, Metallica or, I don't know, the Eagles. So, go.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, so music, gosh, I really like a lot of the music from the 80s. Whether it's Tears for Fears is a big one. Some Phil Collins, sort of kind of that soft rock pop kind of feel to it.
Okay. Favorite Phil Collins song?
In the Air Tonight.
It has to be, doesn't it? Has to be,
yeah.
Has to be. So, what's your background then regarding being a writer, getting into comics, your storytelling influences? What's your comic journey been, Daniel, to get to this point?
I've always kind of I've always been a very imaginative person, even when I was a kid, much to my my teachers in school's chagrin, and because I played with action figures and all that stuff, and so I always created narratives and stories around that, and then as I got older, I was trying to find my place in the world. I went to university, got a degree in business because I thought that was the most marketable degree I could get. Can't really get too many jobs working too many jobs with an English degree. But yeah, so I got a business degree, and of course I graduated from college.
Business degree, well done, impressive. Keep going. That'll come out in comics.
So I got out of college, and of course this was in 2008 or no 2009, when the economy was really terrible, and I ended up going into business with my parents. We owned a custom winery for about 3 years, and sold that off, and then that's basically when I pivoted to writing. And at first I wanted to write novels. Guardian Angel was originally going to be a novel. But then as soon as the indie comic sphere started blowing up, in the late 2010s, early 2020s, I said, this story could really work as a comic book. And then so I pivoted to making it a comic book script, or scripts, I should say. And then I found Bogdan on X, and we started working together around 2020. So it's actually been right around now 5 years.
5 years. Congratulations, your 5-year anniversary. Happy anniversary, Daniel Parker and Bogdan.
And of course,
your lovely style, very painterly, very rich, very dystopian rich, almost like a kind of Blade Runner style vibe going on.
And he actually started doing that with Guardian Angel 1. If you go back and look at my first first book here, which was this Angel's Awakening.
Got you. How about we put you on the big screen for that?
Okay. So yeah, so this is my first book, Angel's Awakening, which we started working on, and you can see the style here is more traditional, or more with that. But then he pivoted to the painted style,
more brush. Do you like the new paint? The old style is nice, but the new one is a bit more brushed. You can almost put yourself into that style.
Oh yeah,
expressive. Very good. We like that one. We do. Yes.
Yeah, and it's so then I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. But so we've been
5-year anniversary.
5-year anniversary, yeah. And I would say major influences story-wise, like I really love cyberpunk. You mentioned Blade Runner. That's one of my favorites. I really love Ghost in the Shell.
Groundbreaking.
Oh yeah, and Akira as well. And so those were kind of like big influences, and also too, like I really liked the stories where you have like two factions that are fighting each other, and especially if they're fighting like in secret or if it's out in the open, like say like Transformers, for instance.
Got you.
Or
Decepticon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And or like GI Joe with the GI Joe and Cobra. So a little bit of that Saturday morning cartoon influences in there too, because that's what I grew up on when I was a kid. It might not look it, but I actually turned 40 on Tuesday. So yeah,
do you know what? Age, what is it? It's a temporal illusion. You've probably got a very beautiful soul and spirit, Daniel. And if it's any consolation, you look very fresh-faced and I would attempt to say baby-faced, and not in a patronising pat on the head way.
Thank you.
Or whatever you're drinking, market it by putting it in some bottles, and you'll make millions.
All right, we'll do. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute here, Bermarshan, a regular in our chat, supporter of the show. He says, "Belated happy birthday, Daniel."
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bermarshan. We'd like to get the chat going. There we go. Just give a smile in the chat. I like that. A bit of good vibes in the chat. So I'll tell you what, we'll go to the next one. We love, this is our favorite.
Okay.
Guardian Angels image. We've often used that one in the indie promos over the last 2 years, but just the color, that duotone thing, very rich, painterly, expressive style. You can see where Bogdan's really getting into that style there. He absolutely, the Dutch camera angle, it's the perfect Guardian Angels picture for promo, and probably as a cover. Have you got a variant cover featuring this?
Featuring this? No. This is a. It's a.
No. Hey man,
it's a splash page. Yeah,
If you want to do another print on demand variant special cover, trust us. Take it from somebody who knows. This is your third variant, maybe. Just saying, it's up to you.
Okay.
How do you think? And we don't issue edicts in the show. We just have. What do we have? We just make hints. We gently hint at people that we like it. Don't know about you guys, but we do. So what does Daniel Parker create? We're coming up to your convention table. We've been airlifted in from the UFO right into an American Comic Con. We've just gone right through the portal from Britain to America because travel is costly these days. And we just go through the portal and bang, we're there at your convention table. Sell us on why we should get this.
All right. So Guardian Angel takes place 100 years in the future. And it sees Henry, who wakes up from cryogenic stasis, and he's in a completely new world that's under the rule of the evil Britannian Empire. And they're, of course, the Britannian Empire is ruled by the enemies of the psychics, known as they're the elementals. Henry is a psychic with the ability of telekinesis, and he's partnered up with Jessica Sawyer, who has the ability of teleportation. And the two of them have to fight off 4 Britannian elementals who are in their country, the Republic. Yeah, they're outnumbered 2-1, and and they have to protect and they have to protect the Republic, which is we now know as the state of Texas. And on top of that, they have to rescue a billionaire industrialist named Laura Stone, who's she's been kidnapped by these elementals because they want to know all of her secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got to rescue her. And of course, the elementals, they've got a lot of tricks up their sleeves, and they're going to cause a lot of destruction and chaos along the way.
Tell you what, you got a bit of praise for you. There's a certain person in the chat is in tune with Azrael's hive mind. That's always dangerous if you get into one of our hive minds, let alone the 3 that we do have. I'll put that praise up in a moment. Well, actually, the actual feature of the comments, yes, stunning and cool, says Belmont Chant, of this Dutch camera angle with that rich Bogdan digital expressive brush style. It's rich, it's exotic, and it's got a sultry kind of dystopian vibe to it. We think all the artwork, we know it's a slight sultry, slightly hot. Let's call it that because we're family friendly, universal PG rated show.
Yeah.
Slightly, that's the temperature of the dystopian is just, I would say boiling point, but it's simmering away, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like that, you know? It's just, I'm not sure if that's intentional, but hey, we're glad you like it, Bermont Chat. It is stunning and cool, we think. So we'll feature it. It's the kind of thing you can have in indie comic late night love.
Yeah.
We think so. Let's move swiftly on. Right then, cover. Tell us about Guardian Angel, the main cover, correct?
Right. Yes, this is the main cover. So this is, Henry and Jessica dropping into battle. There's a lot of into the capital of the Republic, Lone Star City, which we would know as Austin, Texas. I made the Republic, Texas, and then the capital, Austin, because that's where I was living at the time that I was writing these books. They're the fire elemental. Her name's Marion. Yeah, she's causing some destruction there, and so they drop in from their jet overhead, and of course, Jessica can teleport, so she can make a soft landing, and then Henry's telekinesis can help him with his descent.
Got you. Right. So there's teleporting and telekinesis then.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 2 capital T's that you don't want to mess with.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we like this constant theme of epic. Involves fire, burning, destruction. I mean, it's scorched dystopia. We like that. Scorched dystopia. We like that. Right then, tell us about this variant cover, which looks quite nice to us. It tells the main character again, please find me coming halfway through the stream, and again this almost supernatural burning horizon.
Oh yeah. So this is the Henry variant cover, which Bogdan did as well, and he took a lot of inspiration from Vampire Hunter D. With the gothic aesthetic. And the blood moon in the back. It definitely fits with Henry's. I think having that kind of past looking setting kind of fits with Henry's background, being from the past, and he's in a future world that really doesn't know anything about, and so it's kind of he's out of his time. So put him in a setting that's out of his time.
So yes, it's kind of future retro. There's something supernatural to it, but it's got science fiction as well. There's this tension between the past and the future almost going on.
Oh yeah,
time duality.
Perhaps. Yes, there you
go. Tell us about this one. We saw this one. We thought Blade Runner. Yes, please.
Oh yes. So this is the Jessica cover. Yeah, very much a cyberpunk aesthetic. Yeah. I love this cover. And for those of you who probably don't already know this, I really like Jessica. She's shaping up to be one of my favorite characters in the series. And yeah, I love writing her. I like seeing Bogdan draw her. You know, she's got that. I she's kind of a cross between some great female characters like Sarah Connor, Ellen Ripley, even Mara Jade. A lot of Mara Jade and some Mara Jade in her too.
Almost like a mixture.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. Although the Mara Jade one was kind of an accident. But yeah, you know, I enjoy writing her, and yeah, it's kind of like a cyberpunk 2077 kind of aesthetic. Yeah.
This is our second favorite Guardian Angel image, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just when we saw it, we thought that's just got that Blade Runner edge to it.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a
Yeah.
bit of tightness to some of the work, and then some expressive elements as well. You've got the wetness on the roads and stuff like that, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's giving off that cyberpunk vibe. Yes, yes, yes. Well done, Bogdan. You've done a grand job there. Richly coloured, that kind of neon blue and quintessential neon pink that you get from that era. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Story then. Are you going to read it, or am I going to get? Or we're going to get our movie voice out?
I can read it.
Let's do it.
Okay. The epic conclusion to the first Guardian Angel arc, 60 full color pages. Writer Daniel Parker and artist Bogdan Rizea return for Guardian Angel Part 2. Following the events of Part 1, Henry Hatcher and Jessica Sawyer work together to rescue industrialist Laura Stone from the clutches of 4 powerful elementals. The elementals, led by Rainier, have their own tricks up their sleeves. Can Henry and Jessica rescue Laura and prevent catastrophe? Find out in Guardian Angel Part 2. Writer and creator Daniel Parker, illustrator and colorist Bogdan Rizea, editor Danny Lynn McDonald, logo designer Nod Saibot.
Get in there. Perfectly done. We like that, Daniel. Tell you what, pretty much a promo king himself. Oh, here we go. We've got a master of useful information, we'll call it. Yes.
Yeah.
We've got Bermarchand saying, very cyberpunk 2079, says Bermarchand. Who knows a thing or two about his genres?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Next one, let's go in. We're moving along. We've got a nice, decently sized presentation for Daniel. So maybe you won't need the big window and the Simpsons logo after all. We'll see. Tell us about the world then.
Okay, so the world, yeah. So it's in the 22nd century, and the world is very different. The evil Britannian Empire has ruled over most of the Western world. That's from like Western Europe all the way to most of to North America, and leaving only one free country. That's the Free Republic of America, which is the state of Texas. But the Britannians have been trying to get control of the Republic for the last 50 or so years. And but the Republic is very technologically advanced, so they have all the cybernetics, they got robotics, they got plasma weapons, they got mechs, they got all this really high tech stuff to keep the Britannian Empire, which is much bigger and has a bigger army, but the Republic's high tech weapons and everything keeps them at bay.
So it's against the odds kind of thing. They've got enough technology that's advanced enough to keep this against the odds situation where, and usually in a kind of antagonist-protagonist situation, there's an imbalance, isn't there? Like in the Star Wars The New Hope, where the Empire's got all the kit, but the rebellion is almost like a scruffy ragtag bunch of old kit from the Republic,
Right.
So you get a level playing field. But yes, just in that image alone, you get the idea, don't you, of the technology versus the kind of just the fact that everything's on fire tells you they're up against it,
Oh yeah, and yeah. That's
just an image to dwell on, because so clearly as a writer you developed your cosmology, because there was a bit of a debate about this on X, and we don't get involved directly in the drama, but we thought if we can, we'll bring up the show and say, well, where do you stand on developing a cosmological background? Is it just interesting characters, and it doesn't matter if the background elements are only sketchily kind of developed, or because obviously without interesting writers, the world, doesn't matter how well it's conceived, can fall flat.
Right.
Likewise, if you have great characters, then maybe it might compensate for the background of the world. But if the background world isn't convincing enough, then maybe even the best characters can't carry the series. Is it a kind of yin and yang, a balance of both? What do you think as a writer?
I would say, yeah, it's a balance. Yeah, you gotta keep them both, and you know, as Thanos would say, perfectly balanced. You know, yeah.
There you go, folks. We also get exclusive tidbits of information on this show. Daniel Parker is probably a distant relative of Thanos. Joe, you heard it first on the show.
Oh yes.
Hey, folks, YouTube don't shut us down. We're just joking about the. Speak to our lawyers. They're not going to shut us down. They're not going to shut us down. Okay, we're okay for now. Let's move on from the Thanos thing. Swiftly on. Yeah. Right, here we go. Interior art. Tell us about this one. You've got a thing about Big Moon Rising. Tell us is there any kind of motif or symbology why you're using big moons like this?
You know, I think it's that's Bogdan's style. He likes putting a full moon in the background. It's just I think it looks great. You know, it definitely it sets that aesthetic very well, and that the jet that they use is kind of is a cross between like the X jet and the Batwing, you know, something along those lines. You know, Henry and Jessica need some kind of vehicle or vehicles to get around when they need to get somewhere in a hurry.
And if you've ever been in the 8-bit wars and know what a Commodore 64 is, then there's a legendary space combat trading game called Elite. And in that very game, you can get emulates for the 64 and play this Elite game. Basically, you start off with a Cobra Mark III. That gives us Cobra Mark III vibes. If you've never played Elite, or you have, then you'll know what we're talking about moving swiftly on.
Okay.
Right, yeah, gotta try it, Dan. Right, interior art again featuring our favorite image. Is this on a t-shirt, Daniel?
It may be on the t-shirt, yeah, someday.
Doing our Silver Surfer, lamentable, melodramatic. If only. Are we destined to soar the universe without such a t-shirt? When will we? I'm just teasing, Dan. We're just teasing. But yeah, so we could possibly have a variant cover. Just saying, just thinking out loud. Not that it's our comic or anything. Not even an opinion. Just a kind of thinking. What if? We're just
yeah.
There we go. Interior art. Tell us about this one. This one is probably our third. Well, it is kind of our third favorite, but we're thinking it looks so intimidating. We wonder if it should be our third favorite image. It looks like a bit of an odd case, as we say here in the UK.
Oh yeah. This is Rainier, the leader of the Elementals. This is as he's about to unleash a whole lot of destruction on the city. The destruction part of the city where the Elementals are just going through and taking everything out was originally I had written it as just one page with 5 panels. But Bogdan talked me into splitting them all up into splash pages. So each character has their own individual splash page of just, causing havoc and destruction.
So it's almost like kind of dramatic reveal, a splash page kind of thing. Widescreen cinema, boom, here, arrival. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dramatic rival. I tell you what, don't want to see him on a late night with the big moon shining. You're going to get that whole werewolf vibe of just go home, take it easy, just watch some Netflix, relax.
Yeah.
When he's around, just don't go outside, folks. Why have got people in the streets when he's around? Don't do it.
Yeah.
So this one is an intriguing image. We weren't quite sure what's happening here, but we've got a car, we've got tech, and we've got explosions. Explain this image a little bit more to us, please, Daniel. It's intriguing.
Yes. Yeah. So this is part of the car chase sequence where we've got some soldiers. I don't want to spoil too much.
No, we don't do spoilers with this show.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a very important chase sequence, and I try to have a similar chase sequence in this that I did in Angel's Awakening, but yeah, it's definitely some big explosions, some big firepower, and I will say one of the elementals does go on a bit of a rampage. So,
wow,
yeah.
rampage. That's what we think of that. It's just boomtastic rampage.
Oh yeah,
and just again that inferno style that Bogdan looks like he's actually enjoying himself as an artist. You can always tell, can't you? There's that visual, expressive enthusiasm of fire, guns, tech.
Oh yeah,
dramatic chase, all that kind of like man food stuff. It's kind of like we've got it, fillet steak with a glass of red wine with a kind of red onion and cranberry sauce kind of jus kind of thing going on. It's rich. It's got all the man stuff. You have a steak, you think, crikey, I feel slightly better after eating that than that glass of red Merlot. There you go, a red Merlot image. You can pass that on to Bob and say we thought his visual painterly style is rich in filet steak. Right, moving swiftly on. Tell us about this image, please.
Yeah, so this is Ignacio. He's an earth elemental, and one thing I forgot to mention about the elementals is they can shift into an elemental form, so they become just like the pure of their element. So they go like air. They can, Rainier is an air elemental. He can turn into air. Same with like Marion and Sky, fire and water. They can turn into fire and water. Ignacio here, he's an earth elemental, so he can basically turn himself into a giant rock.
Pure state.
Yes.
Essence.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. Do you like the earth elemental? And like the expression on his face as he's looking up and then it's like going in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got that almost look of, we like the fact he's looking up at something. So we're wondering straight away, what's he looking at?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he seems to be coming down in granite earth state form. And you're thinking, don't want to be on the receiving end of that. We don't think the car will come off too well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that scene where in the movies where they usually have a falling body.
Yeah.
If you have a falling granite earth elemental falling on your car, it's probably going to be a whole sidewalk gone kind of thing.
Oh yeah, just completely obliterated. Yeah.
we guess on the scales he's weighing in quite heavy.
Oh yes, yeah, he's a big guy.
More than WWF wrestling style. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
So tell us about the creative team. It's Daniel and it's Bogan. Tell us a bit more about both of you, what your skill sets are, what you bring to this dynamic epic duo. As we often refer to Guardian Angel as an epic duo.
Yes. Yeah. So basically I've been the creator and writer on the series. I've had specifically Henry. I've had him in my head for before I started writing Guardian Angel. I had him in my head for like 10 years. I wanted to do a story with him, and so this seemed like the perfect outlet for him, and so I basically just tell the story of how I wanted like a future world that's it's distant from ours, but not as distant as you might think. That's something that's kind of the vision that I've always had for this series. And for Bogdan, I mean, he brought the characters to life. He's drawn them out brilliantly. And he's able to really capture the essence of the characters, whether it's their emotions, whether it's their personalities, everything that I imagined how these characters look. That's how Bogdan has been able to bring that out in them.
Okay, I'll tell you what, we like that New Hope style Conan the Barbarian kind of imagery. We'll talk about the poster pack in a minute. We actually looked at the campaign, we looked at the merch, we do an hour, 2-hour presentation in preparation, and then we kind of like guide it through. So if anybody has kind of like what was I going to say next moments, hopefully we kind of assist and help the creators creative leaders on the show feel comfortable with the promotion.
Yeah.
Right then, merch. You can read this out because you know more about the art prints than we do.
Yes, So as with part 1, Guardian Angel part 2 is offering a 5 art print pack. This time featuring the beautiful Jessica Sawyer in lingerie, in different lingerie sets and poses, all drawn and colored by Bogdan Rizea.
Lovely name, that Bogdan Rizea. Lovely surname. It got a very exotic continental feel to it. What country is it from, if you don't mind? If you don't mind us asking, yeah.
He is Romanian.
Romanian, European, then very exotic.
Yeah. He's Romanian, currently residing in Italy.
Romanian, so very cross-pollinated kind of culturally, yeah. Don't you find this very unusual, Daniel, that we're able to shrink the world? I mean, the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
What's that? A puddle. The landmass, the continent over there, what is it? It's just a pebble next to another pebble with a puddle in between. Because we've shrunk the world with a Star Trek. If you want to go somewhere, we've now got the technology to go anywhere in the world. If you want to go there, close your eyes, blink, and will it. Manifest. So you can get, for example, what was John Long saying? Actual record holder for the most views, twice the previous record holder now. Had a smash hit, had all his family behind him, got a partner. He does the creator and the writer thing, like you, yeah. He's got an artist who does the art and the video stuff, the trailer stuff, and his wife does the accounts and an editing. So it's a 3-person team. But all the family is supportive, and they came out into the chat, and the chat just exploded. Our busiest chat ever, and we even had our business mentor pop into a chat. So it was another special people like Bianca Makoji, who's been with us for 2.5 years, all in the chat together and that. So it's lovely to have that almost supportive community vibe from family, friends, people we've known on X for the last 2.5 years. So how's that for you in terms of network support? Is it just you on your own doing it, or you don't have to tell us anything private if you don't want to?
I mean, the Centennial Comics, which is that's my LLC. That's the company that I'm publishing through, publishing the books through. It's me. That's, but no, I mean, I've, you mentioned family. I mean, my family's been very supportive of my business and the comic books, as well as Bogdan's.
Lovely.
So we both have a lot of great family support, and
brilliant.
And we've had support from, obviously from the indie sphere, from everybody. So it's fantastic.
Just like a load support,
yeah,
like that. Give it some shoulder to the boulder. I see in task made humble by many shoulders. Pushed together. The thing is, if you help somebody else, that comes right back in the universe. The cosmic mirror reflects. Basically, a rising tide lifts all boats. It'll come back to you. Yeah. That's how it is. Right, moving swiftly on. We've got rewards. Tell us now. Let's give us the hard sell. This is a chance to do your sales talk.
Right.
Tell us what we can get if we back this book, and people who catch the restream are watching it now.
So the book is available in both digital and physical editions. Digital copies, $20. Physical copies, $25. I know digital $20 US for digital might seem a little expensive, but given it is a 60-page book, you're getting some bang for your buck for it, I think.
Let's do the maths before you continue. Right.
Okay.
A Team Red book or Team Blue book is $5. Actually, it was $6 and $8 now. Yeah. So let's call it $5. 5 20 pages. 10 40 pages. $15, or as it would be in UK pounds, from 20 to UK pounds, probably about 15 quid. Yeah. 60 pages would be about £15. Actually, when you multiply it up, you're paying $5 for each 20-page book in there.
Okay.
So it actually is fair, because we often think that initially when we see stuff that's a little bit pricey, because sometimes you can be used to buying things at that level, but you think, hang on a minute, that's actually 3 comics. It's not just one comic. It's like a trade paperback in essence,
Oh yeah.
Plus, with indie comics, you have a culture, and it's a supportive culture or positive culture of actually paying. There's always been a premium within the comic creators, even in the black and white indie boom in the late 80s and early 90s and that,
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's you're trying to support people because they who haven't got the corporate machine behind them, yeah. And
Right.
instead of getting some soulless with teal and mustard colour, Azrael, let it go, man. You got to let it go. Don't get into it now. Accept the answer that Daniel Parker gave you and move on.
Yeah.
Just an advertising fashion thing. We're not being programmed or anything like that. So it's a case of you've always paid a bit of premium because you're supporting something personal as opposed to something soulless. And Daniel hasn't got the corporate machine behind him, but he does have family, friends, and support, and he's an artist. It's a teamwork thing, yeah. So it's a little bit more, perhaps, maybe a little bit less. Actually, we'd say it's actually on the bullseye for 20 pages, $5, 5, 10, 50. It'd be not dollars, but about £15 for 60 pages. We'd say that's a fair deal. When you started flicking through it, we thought that's not just a 20-page comic, even a 40-page one. Guardian Angel issue 1 is about 60 pages, yeah?
Yes, yeah, thereabouts, yeah.
Oh, there you go. So pray continue. You can get the paper copy as well, yeah?
Yes, you can get the paper copy, yeah. Yeah.
And tell us, you've got actually special duo team-up partner variant cover editions, yeah? So tell us about these, please.
Yeah, so we got Henry and Jessica both have their own solo covers. With Bogdan drew both of these, and you've got Henry, which has got the Gothic Vampire Hunter D inspired cover there with the blood moon, and you've got Jessica's cover, very cyberpunk inspired and cyberpunk aesthetic there.
I like that. Right, let's move on to the next one. Rewards. Bogdan's Conan tribute cover, which is kind of semi New Hope Star Wars vibe, and Conan obviously with the sword. Yeah, tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this poster is 18 by 24. Included with this tier is also a copy of the main cover of the book. So you get the poster and the book.
Poster on the book for this tier. That's very good. And how much will that be for the poster on the book?
I think I have it at $45, but let me double check. Okay. Yes, 45.
Cool. Yeah. And nothing. Tell you what. So your merch is focused on poster packs, which is we like that. We often think of merch as kind of posters and badges. We like that sort of thing, and maybe a t-shirt. By the way, if you ever get a t-shirt done and you want us to wear it and promo your book on the show, just saying it's something we've got in the works for one indie creator, but it's classified at the moment. We can't reveal it. It's called under NDA. We can't speak about it, but just saying one day we might actually do a bit of indie comic promo. This is just us wearing something for the gym, but we thought it was stylish. When the Batman t-shirt is in the wash, we're going to wear this.
All right.
the Ketonian bat symbol. Anyway, rewards. Tell us about the newbie tier, please.
Yeah, so newbie tier, this is for people who are new to the series. They haven't read any of the books. You can get a physical copy of Angel's Awakening as well as Guardian Angel 1 and 2.
Tell you what, 1 and 2. Tell you what, I do like that number 1 cover and the number 1 variant, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yes, I tell you, Bogdan's he's got some art charts. We like that. Expressive art charts.
Oh, yeah.
Rewards. Now, we were selective in which image we included for family friendly Universal show. We're getting a bit into the Grattan's catalogue underwear section, but we thought we had a couple that we thought were doable. So we thought, go on, then we'll do the kind of like pin-up calendar thing. After all, we're not prudes by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. And, we would say here, that's almost like noir flavored, timeless noir. Call it that. Yes. Tell us about this one, please.
Yeah, so this is one of the art prints in the art print pack. This is Jessica in some really nice lingerie. This pose and the pose in lingerie in particular was inspired by a similar pinup featuring Anna Nicole Smith from like the 90s, I believe.
Got you. Yeah. And so that's almost, let's call that noir. And this one here is a white rose. Let's call it that, yeah? For family show. Tell us about this one, please.
Yeah, so this is Jessica and some very nice, very nice lingerie set, and having a little
Tasteful lingerie sets.
tasteful
Then.
lingerie set. Yes, yeah, and taking a nap. It's actually this particular image here is the background on my iPad.
Ah, I see. I see. Background image on your iPad. So yeah. Do you know what? It's Roberto Rodriguez says he carries his art actually on his phone, wallpapers and like that. So he's always got his project with him.
Yeah.
Right on the iPad. You can watch it on your TV. I mean, some stuff from in the comics, we've seen it on the TV, we've seen it on our phone, we've seen it on iPad, just how interconnected those audiences are, and trying to actually make sure that, well, perhaps we can try addressing those markets. Some people might be on the go on a subway in Japan. They might look at your book and think that's cool, and be able to read it on a phone, or maybe they have a tablet, and while they're commuting, what I mean, if they're on a train, there's all sorts of possibilities to actually sell indie comics. You know what I mean? And everybody can have their own indie comic business plan. It doesn't have to be, right, we all do coloring like this. We all try to make money this. We all try and market it in the same way.
Yeah.
If we have friction, it can be friendly rivalry as we race towards a wild frontier. Sometimes rubbing shoulders with a friction, but in a good-natured rivalry where we can stake our own plot through of land in the wild frontier of indie comics. And if somebody cracks fulfillment, we all want to know about that, don't we? In terms of paper copies, which has expensive shipping. Could one day all the indie comics creators cluster together to form a kind of collegiate organization, not so much a corporation, maybe a small LLC, where you can go to them and they'll use order of magnitude shipping packing crates on some shipping containers and kind of get it to Britain, get it to France. We're just spitballing there with that idea. But order of magnitude. You remember Lord of the Rings? Where they were outnumbered. Aragorn and his friends were outnumbered by the orcs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do? You bring in some green spirits that level the battlefield.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do. Yeah. This.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah.
Rewards. We've actually got another pin-up edition here. Nice work on the sea. You know what I mean? Got a very exotic kind of holiday feel to this one.
Yeah. This is another poster. It would be 18 by 24. Also, book is included with it. 18 by 24 inches. I don't know what that is.
A2 page size, because obviously Bristol board is 11 by 17. That's A3.
Yeah.
So we think this would be about A2 then, double the Bristol board, which would be
probably. I think so. Yeah.
A2.
So
did Bogdan do this one as well?
No, this one was from an artist I've been working with. I've gotten commissions from. Her name is Lily Keta.
A lady artist, yeah.
Lady artist, yeah. She's she's Brazilian.
Brazilian, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I've had her do posters. She did a poster for part 1, and I had her do this one here. Very much kind of like a Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover type of thing. Yeah,
absolutely. Yes, good work there. What's her name again?
Lily Keta.
Lily Keta. I tell you what, very unusual name. And yes, got the art chops. Fair play to her. Fair play to her. Right then, trailer.
Yes.
Sometimes we're gonna have to get rid of the presentation for now. Let's see, we can move that for the moment, and then we're going to play this and bring it onto the stage. It's a bit of a faff. This is where we need 2 monitors.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, I had.
So 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
1 second. Here we go. What are you saying? Go on, listening.
I was just going to say the music on the trailer is non-copyrighted, so you don't have to worry about getting.
All right. So we're just sometimes we wonder about that. We're going to get lightning strikes for the whole 2 hours, and you think, crikey, we did one thing wrong, and we're not going to be forgiven by YouTube again. We're still waiting to be forgiven by Instagram, but we've got to hand over the business blackmail plan. I mean, the business plan wants our phone number to prove that we're not a bot. What they're really after is our numbers, so they can send the hordes of advertisers and spam bots to our. We'll never know peace basically while we sleep.
Right.
Off. That's how it is, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
We're gonna add this one to the stage. We've got to remove that one and add this one. Beg your pardon. Now we're there, and we just need to make this a little bit bigger. There you go. We're nearly there. Press play. Going in. Wow, like a bit of that. I'll tell you what, that's what we call exotic colouring. You know, those really purple, magenta, rich, almost hot pink style combinations that Bogan does.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tell us how you feel about that trailer.
I
What was
love
your
it.
plan behind
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, the guy who does my trailers, his name's Caleb.
Really?
Yeah, and he Caleb with a K, and he's been doing my trailers on all the campaigns. Yeah, I really like his style. How he presents all the images and his choice of music. Yeah, great.
Yeah, it's got an edge that could only be Guardian Angel. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, I suddenly think, yes, that's the painter style, that's the writer style, that's the production style, that's the music. You just think they all work in concert, you know?
yeah.
John Williams, Star Wars kind of vibe, you know? It could
Oh
only
yeah,
be that, yeah?
yeah.
And we like the fact that indie creators have their own style, whether it's color solutions, music solutions, trailer styles, yeah? We can all
Mhm.
come up with our own business plan of solutions. It's that cosmopolitan individual flavor that makes indie comics sing. You know,
Yeah,
you've got, what's that word? Variety.
yeah.
And indie comics can be, what's that other word that Heather Veely lashed us with? That indie comics I was in the next planet thinking of something like, what was I trying to think of? But it doesn't matter. But she said
Mm.
they can be fun.
Yeah,
No, there's one. I thought, yes, indie comics, of course they can be that.
yeah,
We were like there staring, what's that word we're after? And she kind of,
yeah, yeah.
and we got absolutely. But hey, Heather Veely, if you haven't checked out her, if we mention a create by name, then we go into instant promo mode. It's going to drive you crazy down. But don't worry, you'll be the beneficiary of this one day, because when you're not a guest on the show, somebody else is. We go, oh, we had Daniel on the show next week, and we're going to say, oh, do you know he runs his book? He's got with the artist Bogdan, and he's got this Guardian Angel that's in demand on Indiegogo, and they're going to be thinking, why is he promoting other people? We just do it for everybody, you know, to me,
Yeah,
help ourselves.
yeah.
So then, will I like Guardian Angel? Who's it for, Daniel Parker?
It is for I would say for sci-fi fans. It's for people who like action stories. They like cool characters. A little bit of if you like cyberpunk aesthetic, um, you like guys with swords and women wearing tight suits. Yeah, just I would say probably skewed, definitely skewed more male, but that doesn't mean women can't read it as well and enjoy it.
60-40 Star Wars style, male, female.
Yeah, I would say that's a good ratio. Yeah, yeah.
Right then, why do you then, Daniel Parker? Why do you create indie comics, and when did your journey with indie comics begin?
Well, it started, about it started 5 years ago.
Um,
And it's I write it because I think comic books are a fantastic medium, and they're a lot of fun to read, and I love the visual style and everything, and so I like being able to tell my own stories the way I want to tell them, and not have some big corporate overlord telling me how to write it and how the character should be. Yeah.
we're just sorry, we weren't being rude there. We just thought, hang a minute. We traditionally put up, every guest has, from our makeup light,
Yeah.
a color, and we've gone for cyber pink for you. It was either
Nice.
blue, cyberpunk blue, but we've gone for cyberpunk pink.
Nice.
We all see those kind of colors from Bogdan.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the pinks and the purples and the magentas.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, you've got your own journey, and you're into, well, the fact that you can control your stuff without somebody who has no passion for what you do, but wants to tell you how you make your book better than you do.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Daniel Parker knows what he wants. He's got a brain, and he's a unique soul on the planet. There's only one of Daniel Parker on the 8 billion planet of people, yeah? And that's the beauty of indie comics. You know, it's a wild frontier where we can all win if we cooperate. Especially if we cooperate, we'll win more. More winning.
More, yes.
What advice would you give to aspiring creators? On this show, we listen, learn, and share. Let's say that it's a creative family. They all want to start comics together. Mum and dad might even be put together an indie comic, but to help them get, we've got a creative expert, such as you, Daniel Park, on the show. And adolescent might wonder, well, what do I do? Or a child might wonder, it all looks so impossible. What would you advise?
I would say, I think best piece of advice is have your story together. You know, I would say get like what what idea you have, get it down, and then get the story down, get the universe down, get the characters nailed down. And also, if you're depending on which creative, whatever your creative part of it of you're in, whether you're the writer, if you're the writer like me, networking is a great way to try to find an artist. Go on X, go on Instagram, try to find some artists and see which style they have, and obviously you got to talk page rates with them, you got to talk budget and all that stuff, which you can negotiate all of that. If you're the artist, and I would say too with the artist, I mean, if you've got an idea for characters how you want them, but you don't know how to tell the story, write the story, do the same thing. Go out there and network and try to find artists or try to find writers who are who take commissions, and they can write out a script for you, all that. I would also say too, a big thing is learn to take criticism.
Go on.
Because and I would say constructive criticism, because I obviously not all criticism is constructive. It's just like, oh, you suck, like, don't listen to them.
With grace, gentleness, and generosity, in the spirit of trying to help.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, I would also say, get your, I will say budgeting is probably a big thing too. Try to figure out just how much money you're going to need to get this book made. And, then that will, if you're doing crowdfunding, that will go a long way to determining, the funding goal.
So almost a sense of research and development and production management approach to your business plan.
Right.
And you get ahead of the curve. How much is this bit going to cost? My writer's going to do this. He's going to get an artist. The artist is going to do this. We need to know how many copies we're going to print, how much he's going to want paying, how much am I going to pay for our bills, right. Electricity, gas, food, stuff that we need to live off, and petrol in the car,
right.
a car, or you maybe travel around on a bus or public transport like a train. We're still big fans of trains ourselves, of course.
Yeah.
All right then. So that is sage advice and practical advice as well, Daniel Parker. Thank you very much as our resident in-house creative expert. Well, you're doing it. You're going out there and competing with Team Red and Team Blue. You're bringing it to the battlefield. We like a bit of that sword type stuff on the indie comics wild frontier. Hey, why not?
Yeah.
We're the mammals. They're the dinosaurs. Amen.
Yeah.
With a swift loan, what kind of superhero would you be, Daniel Parker?
Well,
You're seeing
actually,
this white Captain America shield on your chest.
oh
Good.
yeah, yeah. Well, actually, before I answer that, I need to go real quick, so I'll be right back.
No
If that's
problem,
okay?
sir. No problem,
Yeah, yeah.
sir.
Right.
So we are super thrilled to have Daniel Parker on the show. He has been like the atomic clock, the one follower who's been like the atomic clock. It turns up for every single indie comic promo. On Sunday, we usually post it after 4 p.m. Yeah, even when we're doing live streams, we still post the indie comic promo. Wednesday, indie comic promo, that was yesterday. And, you know, he turns up for that. And then, if he turns up, we can use him as part of the indie comic late night love. And sometimes it's the indie comic late night big love thread. It's just kind of like, what's it? If we post at 10, we're actually posting at early times to actually get our sleep. One special someone actually recognized our time zones and wondered why we were posting at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. You can't keep that up, but we've been doing that for a long while, and it's probably not healthy. So basically, thank you for somebody just you've got to look after your sleep, otherwise you're not doing art. And we want to get back to doing art, of course we do. So, but yes, if you're in the indie comic promo like Daniel is, and he turns up for the Friday one as well, then we can include you in the late night indie comic love. And that's what it's 12. That's who we post at 10. The following day, it's 12 hours to 4 o'clock. So 6 plus 12, that's 18 hours of free promo. You can't say that there aren't places to actually promo your stuff. With us, some people say we're the best kept secret. We're a bit humble, but if we've helped at all, our stated mission is to help grow the indie comic community. It's not an I, it's an us. It's a we thing. We say.
Yeah.
Right then. So
Right.
superhero, Daniel Parker, which one will it be?
It's I would say probably a hero that I share a name with, and that would be Spider-Man.
Of course.
Yeah, Peter Parker. Yeah.
Of course. We did think that once, we thought, don't ever tell him that. He'll think we're crazy. But so you're a Spidey fan, and who isn't, let's face it. Favorite Spider-Man artist? For us, it's Ross Andrew.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
He did very much somehow when Spider-Man was pinned against the wall by the Rocket Racer. Ross Andrew did the very emotive style Spidey eyes. Even though you can't see Spider-Man's face, he manipulated the eye mask to actually express emotion, almost like eyebrows, almost like that kind of Disney thing of exaggerated stretch.
Right. Yeah.
So yours is Todd McFarlane, writer.
Yeah. I like McFarlane's style. Yeah.
It's popular, isn't he? I tell you what, you got to give it to him. He's reforged and reborn his career many times. He's actually done the obvious thing, which he should have done years ago, was create a Spawn universe. And he's kind of born again. He's on fire. Right, next one. Here we go. Okay. Bonus questions. Don't worry, you won't need a lawyer. It's just one or two. And with any contact details. Right. What are your plans for Guardian Angel going forwards?
So after this, I've got 2 scripts that I've written so far that are finished. Once Bogdan's finished drawing part 2, he'll go into the next book. Basically, the kind of idea that I have is each book's going to be slightly episodic, having like a self-contained story. Usually, probably clocking in around 48 pages. So for our next book, I don't want to say too much about it, but it is a self-contained story, around the 48-page mark, and that's kind of what it's going to be. But every now and then I'll do like a Guardian Angel, kind of arc like this one, where it's like a 2, maybe 3-part, story.
So that can all go into a trade paperback, maybe a 3-story arc.
Yeah.
2 trades, or however it fits. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You can make the floppies pay again as a trade, just like the big corps do. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can do that.
Get extra revenue for it because you already paid for the art and writing. So you've got to pay for the printing of a trade. but it's almost like gravy. And if you get a bit of merch as well as an extra revenue stream, it's kind of like additional income to the business model with a paper copy or a pamphlet, or a modestly sized graphic novel. It's what we might call a 20-page book.
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite pizza, Daniel?
Are we talking toppings? Are we talking like style?
Right now we're talking so Azrael doesn't eat his own fist. This is a drawing hand. We don't want to do that one, but we're going to start here. We're probably in approximately 10 minutes, so we'd probably go for a triple or quadruple cheese one. Yeah, right now we very much eat a pizza, but we're trying to eat healthy at the minute and do a bit of gym, so we're trying to strip back the fat. So we're probably a bit of half a stone to a stone under our normal weight. But we're trying, when we start putting muscle back on, we're not going to go crazy at the gym because it takes up so much time. Art is our main church. Gym shouldn't be our church. We just like to keep fit,
Yeah.
So what you fancy, right? Because right now we could put a face on that one up on the show presentation. What do you fancy right now? Or maybe a range of pizzas,
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I would probably favor New York style pizza.
How does that work?
So New York style is thinner crust.
Thin, crispy.
Yeah. Thin crust, yeah. And
Topping?
I like pepperoni, sausage, peppers, green peppers usually, and onions.
Very what we call that, cosmopolitan. Seems to have it could be different countries on bread and tomato sauce.
Yes.
Yeah. Lashings of cheese on it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. I'd like a lot of cheese on my pizza. Yeah.
Daniel, at the risk of causing an all-out brawl in the chat, if somebody sneaks pineapple on your pizza, is it going down Jerry Springer style? Ding, ding, ding.
No. No, that is
coming. Man.
Yeah, it's coming off. No, it's
coming off straight away.
No.
Is it coming off for the person who put it actually on there as well? They're getting the head coming off as well. You put
maybe.
We know in the blue corner, speaking of red and blue corners, weighing in at 800 pounds in the red corner, we've got somebody popping into the chat. It's John Long, who is the current record holder with 160 plus views. Twice our previous record holder was on 78 views. Is John Long. Very shy, very nervous when he came on, but you wouldn't have known it. We did about 10-15 minutes worth of green room chat.
Yeah.
And lovely bloke. He looks eternally young. We think he's managed to find himself a fountain of youth, and that's why he looks so good. He's no way is he a granddad. He looks a young man. And I tell you what, he's got a lovely, lovely style about him. He's very, very modest, very quietly spoken, but boy, he's got his website, he's got his paper comics, he's got the merch with the t-shirts. His website's very good. We've actually been to his website last night after the bank trying to lock down our card. They do like for prevention, don't they? They probably mean well. Stops us getting crushed later on down the line. So we had to sort out all the security clearance with the bank card. And last night, working with John Long, we finally managed to put in, it's the promo we do. You come into the chat, we recognize you as well. Our brother Daniel, who's like the atomic clock of indie comic promos. He actually tells us when we're going. No, he doesn't really. But we actually follow his North Star for our atomic timing to make sure we get the indie comic promos up 3 times a week. So anyway, John Long actually worked with us to actually get over the fraud card thing, and we've bought Heavyweight 1 and 2. It's a web comic, which we gave a 5 Pillars of Storytelling Recognition Awards for 2024. And we've got more of those to do. Should finish posting them by the end of the year, ready for the 2025 ones. And what we gave the recognition for was, it's a webcomic where you read chapter 1 and go, that's cool, it's quite mysterious, but I don't mind reading the next one. He's like you, actually quite consistent on the Indie Comic Promos Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. After we post them, he's in there. And what we went back, I thought, oh, we posted again. Let's have a look at another one. We got up to 6 chapters, and we thought, that's cool. It's like political spiraling indie comic intrigue with gold-blooded boxers, with elbow to the nose, bone-crunching action. There you go. So Ether talk. So hey, we like you doing a bit of sales. We just can't help ourselves. So yes, we're waiting for that to come through the post, and we can't wait to actually do an indie comic promo and review for his book. He's even got a short of the heavyweight box, Danny, if you want to see it on the 5 Pillars of Storytelling sister site, YouTube site, that has actually done a lot for the site. We've picked up lots of extra followers because shorts are something we've neglected, but it really does bring traffic because the quick, simple for people to view. Oh, that's interesting. You go straight to the site when you click on the kind of like shorts. So we're going to get into shorts a bit more. It could be you. If you allow us to actually use we could actually host your trailer for you on our site to get extra traffic. So it's like you got it here, you got it there. People see it there, link to your site there for the campaign, blah, blah, blah. It's just, what is it, back scratching? We grow, you get the sale. We don't get any sales, but you get the sale and we do the promo kind of thing, But it's about moving that traffic. Just a thought for you. So anyway, John, back to the pizza talk. It's actually, hello everyone, love New York, style pizza. There you go. What you go? That's a team up. That's a pizza team up, John Long. Good tasting pizzas for us. It's a thin and crispy chicken and mushroom pizza. Just saying. And Bear Marchant says, we're nearly done, Daniel. I had pizza that tasted like a cheeseburger overnight. Congratulations, Bear Marchant. How does that work? And so who was it that wanted us to try some buffalo chicken style pizza? Now that one we want to try. And we got here, hey, hi John from Bear Marchant. And here we go. Just putting this in chat. Welcome, John. Tell you what, hey, he must have something, as our grandmother once said. Now, let's go to the next bit. Now, Centennial Comics, Daniel Parker. Where can they find out more info? Let's have it, please.
Yeah, so you can find me on X right there. I'm at Daniel_Parker63, and also Bogdan Digital there on X. I also have an Instagram, but I don't really post on there very much.
Did they fire you after 7 enthusiastic posts like they did us? Hey, Azrael, let it go. Come on.
No, I don't really, don't really go on that much. But yeah, and Indiegogo, of course, Guardian Angel Part 2, just look it up on there. And yeah, my YouTube channel is called Critique Corner.
Quite a bit of that.
Yeah, it's trying to remember it's at Critique Corner, I think 679. Yeah, at Critique Corner 679. My podcast co-host and I, DB Fastbinder, we review movies mainly, occasionally TV shows, but we do mainly movies. We did our show last night. Did some awesome movie reviews. We watched The Wild Robot, and as well as Copland with Sylvester Stallone. And then Patriot Games, which is the Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan movie with Harrison Ford.
How does reaction video stuff work? Do you get slammed for copyright, or can you actually watch videos without getting the copyright strike? How does it work? Because we want to do a reaction video to Highlander, because Bear Marchant's a fan, and one or two others were interested in us doing reaction videos, because we've got nothing in the 5 Pillars of Storytelling. We haven't got any content yet in movies. How do you do it?
What we do is we find movies that are streaming, and then we watch them on our own. And then come the showtime, all we do is we kind of do it like Film Threat, where we just put the image of the poster up on the stream, and then we talk about it and share our thoughts. That's basically what we do. Yeah, we can't put any movie clips or anything on ours, because we try to do
trailers.
Yeah, like we actually. Yeah, we would do trailer reviews occasionally, but then we would always get hit with a copyright claim. We actually did a trailer reaction for The Flash, and we did it with the sound off, and we were talking over it as we were watching the images, and we still got a copyright claim.
Don't they get that we are the fans? We're putting money, going to see the movie. We're actually growing their pie free of charge, and there's no give, is there?
I know, yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Could you get away with that on Rumble? Is it just a YouTube thing?
You might be able to do it on Rumble. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I actually do. I did start a channel on Rumble, though I haven't put anything up there yet. I've been meaning to do that.
Have you tried local? We're going to expand to Rumble. We suddenly thought, what if YouTube don't like what we say when we start talking about pizzas and that? It could be anything, couldn't it?
Oh yeah.
If you're saying pineapple on pizza, that's us doomed. So we'll have to go to Rumble. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So have you tried? There's Locals. There's one called Locals, and they tend to do movie watches and get a couple of guys together for the weekend, watch some movies, shoot some pool, and just stream it. And they don't seem to get struck over there. It might just be with YouTube being so popular. It has to be strict because the corporations can't help themselves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard good things about Locals. Yeah. I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Just a question, a thought. Are you a follower of this show, and are we following you on YouTube? Because we could do a mutual sub, and if you leave a comment in our stream, so we know where to go with your address, put your address in, or a comment underneath the stream, we'll actually go to you. Everyone counts, Daniel, doesn't it? We call it the power of one.
Right.
And
I think I want to say I think I am following you.
But if you leave your address in our comments on the stream, we'll give you an extra follow or sub, what they call it on YouTube, don't they?
Okay. Oh yeah. And
folks, it's free to do. If you're in the chat, it's free to do. It makes a big difference.
Yes.
John J. Long had a good day today. We hope so. I've got to say thanks to the chat tonight. Good to have you in the chat. Big smile. Glad for turning up. We like that. Share the love. Right then. So here we go. Thank you for being our special guest. We wish you well and Godspeed with your project. Yes, Guardian Angels 2. And there's going to be a trilogy we sense with Guardian Angel at some point 3. And with the merch as well. So Daniel Parker, been a terrific guest. You are the atomic clock of Indie Comics. And thank you very much for your, tell us the secret of Eternal Youth later, please. And we would like to say we look forward to seeing you in Indie Comic promos. And again, good luck with your book, to me. And say hello to Bogdan and his rich, expressive painting style.
Will do. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Tell you what, you've impressed Bear Marchand. He says, great guest. Obviously, appreciating your writing chops.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, Bear. Yeah.
No problem. And tell you what we're going to do. We're going to add to the stage the outro music. I'm going to wish Daniel Parker Godspeed. All right then, lovely. How'd that go?